And welcome back. Our final conversation for the morning is with our friends from the Department of Youth Services. We have with us in studio Sabrina Daly. She's the communications officer. Good morning, Sad. We also have Adriana Young. She's the acting coordinator at the Youth Entrepreneurship at DYS. Good morning,
Yes, good
Adriana.
morning.
And joining us online via Zoom is Aziel Ku. He is the recipient of the 2020 Youth in Technology Award. Good morning, Aziel.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Talk to us about the awards and what these awards signify for the development of young persons in Belize.
Well, good morning again, everyone. So, Youth Awards has been around for a while. Every year, it's an event that we host that celebrates the achievements of young people. And it's really a moment for young people to come together and celebrate being young because it is held during Youth Week every year. And we try our best to make it as creative every year. We try to improve it every year. So essentially, when we think about youth development, it's an opportunity for us to encourage young people for what they're already doing, and to also encourage other young people that are perhaps maybe a little bit shy to step out there and really put their faces out there for development. It encourages them that they can do it too.
And the opportunity for the Youth Awards, or the opportunity to nominate people for the Youth Awards, give other people the chance to shine light on someone who doesn't even know that they're being a trailblazer.
Exactly.
Exactly, because sometimes, young people are very modest, and sometimes they don't want to put themselves out there, and they're excellent in whatever field they're in.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have the opportunity now to highlight someone, and they don't have to nominate themselves. So it's also rewarding for them to know that other people are seeing the work that they're doing and they're being nominated.
Tell us about what it's like to be nominated, Azia.
It's a very surreal feeling.
Yeah.
Many times you work and then you're excited about something. I don't notice or realize that people also believe in you and people want to support you and that people are watching. Sometimes you're focused on so excited about what you're doing and you forget that some of the people are looking at you.
So you actually received the award in 2020. Tell us a bit about the work you were doing and when you found out that you were nominated.
Yeah, so our team got the award and we were we were working on Bistro. We had just started to look at other services that people wanted us to work on. And so we were working hard with the team to bring it out, to work on it and merge it. And then it was a very busy night as usual. And so everyone was in the office trying to make sure that everything is going as planned and smooth. And then we had it playing on one of the laptops in the background. And when we heard that we won it, I just remember the girls just screaming like, "Oh, we won out of it." It was just a very special moment for the team to get that recognition.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you on a personal level in terms of your motivation going forward?
It really sort of brought it home that the work we do, it's not really about us or about me. It's about proving that an idea can happen, an idea can change people's lives. Because the entire team is really youth. So we only have certain people that are adults that are over 30. But for the most part, we have a lot of youths working with us. And so when they get that recognition, and I told them that it's really about the work that they did, and feeling that an idea, it's really hard to have an idea and to build on it. So to have that recognition that, oh, well, we just looked at having a service and then to see that it's actually something in technology and that people see how innovative it is.
Yeah.
I just want to say, whenever I think about this particular category, it takes me back to when I met Aziel for the first time. And I recently told him this story about a week ago. I met Aziel it was like a weekend and I was buying groceries and he was at Publix supermarket giving out little like cards or flyers or something about his business. And he was so humble and he approached everyone and he gave his card. And I immediately saw it and it's like an app that you can download. So I got home and I downloaded it and everything and I was like, this is cool. This is up from what we have.
Yeah.
And I immediately knew at that moment that he needed to be recognized. Even if he didn't win, it was important that he would be nominated because this is the message that we want to send. We want young people to be encouraged that whatever they're doing is making an impact in their community, in the country of Belize, in whatever part of development, whether it's youth development or exactly like he's working in innovation and technology. It was so important to highlight that. So I'm so proud of Aziel, and learning that a year later it would come full circle and we would be working with each other again, where he would be sharing now his improvement and how he has really evolved in innovation and technology. It's just absolutely amazing, and I'm so excited to be a part of it, or to have been a part of it a year earlier.
Yeah. But what are the other categories that people can be nominated for?
So a lot of the categories, we have always just brought them back in because it's always important to highlight them. There's the youth leadership category, category. There's diversely able, because we also want to honor those that are diversely abled. There's the entrepreneurship category that Ms. Adriani is definitely vast in. There is the innovation and technology that Aziel had been nominated for. There's youth and agriculture. There's athletic excellence, academic excellence. There's about 13, but I can't remember them all
from the screen right now.
Yeah,
So
from the top of my head.
Youth Club of the Year.
Youth Club of the Year.
Fantastic. Youth Ministers Award.
Yes, that's
Which is the leadership award.
Okay.
Yeah.
Social media influencer.
Yes, because I mean,
Interesting.
with the pandemic, we have all just jumped on social media, and that's another perfect example of how we have become innovative. For instance, I'm sure that ties perfectly with entrepreneurship. There's a lot of online businesses, and I'm excited to see the applications that we get in terms of how people believe that they are a social media influencer and how they have impacted in some way or another through youth development.
I think another important part of the social media one is because everyone has gone to social media, there's so much negativity.
For
There
sure.
is a lot, and it affects a lot of people's mental health.
Yeah.
So finding young people that are that positive light, it's going to be great to highlight them.
Yeah, I love that because that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's popularity, and then there's using the influence you have for good.
For good,
Exactly.
exactly.
Let's bring it back to the entrepreneurship, though. Tell us about how you've been helping young people develop ideas and moving into their own businesses.
Okay, great. So we have a service area called the Youth Entrepreneurship and On-the-Job Skills Services. Since the amalgamation of all the different government departments under DYS, that is one of the service areas that was a product. So what we do there is we help young people, like you said, develop their business ideas. Sometimes you don't have to know exactly where you want to go. You might have just an idea. And that's where we come in. We are youth officers. We have youth officers there to help you. We have everybody equipped with their business plan outlined to help you prepare a business plan if you don't have one. You know, and we recently partnered with DFC to offer youth loans for a startup. You know that financial institutions in
amazing.
Belize don't really give startup.
And it's hard for young people to access capital for their startup.
Yeah, and most places don't give startup, and that is one of the things that DFC and DYS have partnered to do, startup. And that's a big thing for us because if you go to the bank, even if it's $2,000, they're gonna be like, it's a startup, we don't sure how that's gonna go, so we can't give you that at this time. Come back in 5 years with your business plan and show us how you've been growing. And some people can't reach that point until they've had some help.
Yeah, because they need that seed money.
Exactly. So that is what we have partnered to offer. We're very grateful that DFC was very happy to join us on this initiative because they already had a product going on for young men and women. And so with our partnership, we are now helping them with that process. Even if they don't have everything they need, the requirements, we are helping them through that process to get their business plans ready, They're getting all their information. They're doing their market research, their product research. They're doing all of those things, and we help them develop that plan so that we know that when we send them over to get that loan, they're completely ready and we're not setting up them to fail. Because you could have great ideas, and if we say, yes, yes, come and we give you that money, then we look at it and wonder, why are young people not being successful? We need to help them to reach that point of success.
What
How
are
has
the sorry.
How has it been in terms of generating that interest? Because young people, in a sense, their mindset can be fleeting, right?
Definitely.
They have their eyes on one thing right now, and in a heartbeat, they're thinking of something else. How has it been in terms of generating the interest and keeping that momentum?
For us, the applications that come in, we vet them and we start calling them and we start having a discussion from the onset. So from that conversation, we start telling them, if this is something that you want, it takes a lot of commitment. So before we go into the work, I'm telling them the primary part of it is a lot of work. So from that point, you will see their interest if they're committed to staying within that. A business plan is not an easy document to create.
Yeah.
Even if you're creating a youth-friendly one, it's a lot of information that you have to do because you're passionate about.
Yeah.
You have to go out there and ask your friends, hey, what do you think about this? Would this work? Or you do your research and see if someone is, how they react to a product or a service.
Yeah.
So you really have to be passionate, and that shows from the onset who are the people that will move on to the other level.
Those who are willing to do
Who are
the work.
willing, yes. Because
Yeah.
some people have ideas and they get excited because, oh, it's an opportunity, but
They don't wanna do
beyond
the
just
work.
the opportunity, there's work. There's a lot of work.
Even on the days you don't feel like it.
Exactly.
I wanted to tap into that with you because we know that we've had you on the show in
Yes.
your own entrepreneurship roles. And so you've had that experience. What's the one thing you tell people when they come in? Maybe they do have a great idea, but it's knowing the drive they have
Yes.
to have along with it.
And I think that is one of the things that helped me a lot. And I can share stories with them of
Yeah.
sometimes I don't want to do it, but I have to. It's not a choice if it's something that you really want. So I share my stories with them and I tell them, this is how I started and this is how I keep going. Sometimes it's not always, it won't be motivation that takes you to the end. It's
Yeah.
discipline. After a while, your motivation will go. But you need to be disciplined. And there are a lot of young people that are passionate and they will continue. You can see it. They're passionate about going and they're always communicating. And they're like, this is what we're doing. This is what do you think? And you can see that they're driven to
Yeah.
reach to that point. And after a point, like I said, it's not motivation anymore. It's just discipline.
Yeah. And Aziel, I wanted to get your perspective on that too. I remember when you guys were here talking about Bistro, and I was super excited. And then this was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And clearly the pandemic opened a door, or I would say multiple doors for the opportunity for this type of service. But it's not easy starting something new where people don't have any prior experience of what to expect.
Yeah, that was something that we really had to sit down hours and days, and we had like the movies, you have different mock-ups, you call it version 1, version 2, and you give it to people and you just give it to them and say, let me know how you would use it. Because the pandemic really opened a lot of doors, and it really pushed us to try to see how best we could help everyone. Everyone loves or has heard of Bistro at some point, and they say, it's super easy to order food, but I want something else, and I want what I'm used to with Bistro, bring it to other services, and it's hard, like you said, there's no other service that we can just see, oh well, this is how these guys did it, maybe we could look at doing it. We basically have to build it ourselves, test it ourselves, and try to see how best to make it easy for everyone in Belize.
Yeah.
And that has been a very big challenge that has kept us up late at nights and just trying to see how best to make it work for everyone.
How many districts are you working in now?
I think it's 3 or 4. I think we're the only areas we're not in is like Toledo and the Keys.
Okay. And I know you've been innovating as you move along as the recipient in technology. Now you're adding a whole new level of service, literally.
Yes. We've been working on this service for the last year. Um, it took a while to really find the idea how to do it. We are very excited to start slowly rolling this out in all our districts. Um, it was a very challenging thing to do. Um, Being able we were thinking as the pandemic came, there's a lot more deliveries in Belize City. Very it's a very high demand, and trying to keep up with demand it's its own mission in itself.
Yeah.
Um, and so we're trying to provide the best service, but there's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
And so we said, well, I remember one of the team members said, well, we can look at the basic math concept, which is the distance between the shortest distance between two lines is a straight, 2 points is a straight line. So let's do that. And so we went up. We said, well, let's go up, and we've been working on that for the past year.
Now, clearly, not everything can be delivered by drone. I don't know if I want my lunch hanging over the air. This is for select services, I'd imagine.
Yes, this is not something we're going to be rolling out for everyone, and for every service. Okay, we were planning with the team. It's something more that it's a gradual thing, that as we gain the trust of customers, we'll be rolling out to more services. But we want to start with pharmacists to begin with. I think we can provide a contactless delivery, with people ordering prescriptions. And we want to start there. Before we start on something more complex as food, and we need bigger drones, and we're working on getting our permits for the bigger drones so that we can eventually get there. But it's a process that we are willing to push through.
And so there you have it. That is the 2020 Youth in Technology Award recipient. But let's bring it back to the nomination period. Clearly, what Aziel and his team has done with Bistro shows how young people can use technology to really help in filling a need.
Yeah.
And so it's people like him and others who are being creative that you're hoping will be nominated.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to go back to when he said that the first, I guess, idea of delivery that he has for the drone is pharmaceuticals, right? And I was just thinking how perfect that is in a time of COVID, where you have to avoid contact as much as possible. So for me, it's like, man, you're really filling that need at the perfect time. So
Yeah. So coming back to the nomination for the awards, how do people get their nominations in?
So there's an application form available online. Please have your nominator fill out the application form. They can deliver it to our offices countrywide, or they can email it to our email address, which is dyscommunications with an S @gmail.com. And the deadline is Friday the 15th.
This Friday.
This Friday.
So you got to start thinking of the people you know
Yeah.
and what they're doing. What's the age group that we're talking about?
14 to 29, that's our mandate that we work with. But I mean, when it comes to the application, I always encourage young people that are being nominated to try to put out the strongest application as possible. It's about how you sell yourself. So include those images, those videos that you did in the past, and really, really sell yourself as much as possible, because you're competing with people all over the country, and you could be perhaps a really great young person that's doing amazing work in your community, but if you're not able to sell that, then we won't know.
Yeah. And if I want to nominate someone without them knowing?
Yeah, you can nominate them without them knowing. They can know as well, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
All right. So October 15th, this Friday, get the nominations in. The main category is the age group. 14, you said?
14 to 29, you have to be a Belizean, and you fill out your nomination form and submit it by the 15th. And Youth Awards is the 6th of November. It will be virtual again this year, just like last year. We had our first virtual Youth Awards. Of course, because of COVID, we can't be gathering in person. I know one of the most favored parts of Youth Awards is the idea of getting all fancy and formal. Young people can put on those gowns and suits and all of that. but we're going virtual again this year.
But
Of
you can
course,
still dress up at home.
yeah, you can dress up.
Yeah.
And we will try our utmost best to put out an amazing show as usual. We are going to fill it with entertainment, and it's going to be really nice. So, yeah.
All right. So if you know a young person who's excelling in one of the many categories that we showed you earlier, get the nominations in by this Friday. And thank you all for coming in and telling us about what you're planning, and Aziel, the big developments as well.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in. We're going to go ahead now and take our break. And when we come back, we'll have our wrap up. So stay tuned.